Hello, this is Professor Sexton with a short video lecture on the two documents entitled Basic Essay Format and Paper Formatting. Let me begin by sharing the first document with you. So you will see showing up on your screen in a moment the first document on the basic essay format. Keep in mind that these documents you can find in course documents on the Blackboard link. I'm not going to go over this very much detail, but just kind of want you to go over it. But what you see is it gives you an outline of the 5 parts that should normally be in an essay. So you want an introduction, and normally you want 3 main points. So you see you have point 1, point 2, point 3, and then conclusion. So this is a basic essay format that you should keep in mind as you're structuring the essays for this course and all your other courses. Now keep in mind, depending on the type of essay that you're writing, sometimes your introduction might be longer and you might have more than 3 points, which is totally fine. But if you go further down on the document, it will give you some questions that you should ask in terms of writing the introduction. You know, what am I talking about in this paper? How am I going to talk about it? And what am I going to prove in this paper? Um, if you continue on to the next page, the body. And the body section of your paper is the most important part of the paper because this is where you support your thesis statement and your argument. This is where you give all your examples and all your details. So this is the part of the paper that you really want to work on the most and make sure that it's well developed because so much depends upon this. And then the conclusion, what it does is it shows what you did to prove, what did you prove in the paper, and then it relates some of the bigger issues and some ideas of your topics. So this is something that you want to look over carefully as well. Here on the third page, what you have is an outline. Format that you can use, such as your subject, your thesis statement. Your thesis statement is the argument that you're going to make in your paper. This is really going to depend upon the paper assignments. So for each of the paper assignments that you receive in this course, those paper assignments will make clear what your thesis statements are. Your topic sentence for each body paragraph introduces what that paragraph is going to be about. And that's very important. And it's more important to you than it is for the reader, because what it does is it allows you to stay focused. So you'll know that this topic sentence is this paragraph is only going to deal with this topic. And then all the supporting detail that you provide is going to elaborate and explain that topic. And what you'll want to do in each body paragraph is make sure that there's a clear connection to your thesis. So each body paragraph is going to connect back to the thesis, the point that you're making. Notice on this outline, for the conclusion, it says the restatement of your thesis. Even though that is okay, that is usually not the best way to write a conclusion. You want your conclusion to do a little bit more than that. And in another video lecture, I'll talk about that in more detail. And then for the last page here, there is no last page. Perfect. So let's cancel that slide and go to another slide here. And this next slide is just paper formatting. It's the guidelines that you should use when you're formatting your papers. So let's bring this up. All right, here we go. So in terms of formatting for your papers, this is the structure that you'll want to have. So you'll want to have page numbers, and your page numbers is going to be your last name and the page number. So in this example, the student's name is Tai Ho Lee. And see in the upper right hand corner, you have Lee 1. Then here, the student gives full name, Tai Ho Lee, so that will be your name. Then my name, which is Professor Sexton. Then you'll give the course. So for us, it is English 101, and then you give your section. and then you give the date that the paper is due. So like for this example, this paper was due 18 February 2016. Notice the format here that the date comes first, then there's the month is spelled out, and then the full year, all 4 digits of the year. And then you center and you give the paper a title. All the papers for this course need a title, so be sure to give your papers a title. Every paragraph needs to be indented. So if you notice here, the first sentence of the paragraph is indented. So it starts here instead of here. And for most systems, if you just hit tab once, it should automatically indent for you. Your papers will be double spaced. So see how this is double spaced, and then your next paragraph is also indented. So that indentation lets your reader know that you've moved on to the next paragraph. And that's the format for your papers. Let me just enlarge this, and like it just continues here. You see that on the second page, and this is something to pay attention to. Notice on the second page, it's just the last name and the page number. So all that other information that was on the first page, such as the author's full name, my name, the course, and the date, doesn't appear on the second page. It only appears on the first page, and then for every other page, it's just the author's, your last name, and the page number. So this is the format that you want your papers to be in for this course. So as you work on your first paper, which I know you've not received the assignment yet, you want to make sure that you follow this format. So let me close out of that. So this video lecture is short. So what you want to do is make sure you go back, review the basic essay format very carefully, and review the paper formatting very carefully, because that's the format that you'll need for all the papers that you submit for this course. Okay, take care, everyone. Bye.